Someone really does not want to be here right now.
Damn it.
Welcome, guys.
Welcome to Movies by the Letter, starring Jonathan Pietrafeza and Carter Green.
Don't get my...
Today's movies are...
and Nicholas Cody.
Today's movies are...
Yeah, we'll see about
Interview
that.
with a Vampire, directed by Neil Jordan, starring Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
And Kate
I Am a Cyborg, directed by Park Chan-wook.
Who's it starring?
England
what I thought.
Empire, starring Laura Dern and
Justin
Company.
Theroux. And
Who was it directed by?
Directed
Jeremy
by David
Irons
Lynch.
And
Directed by J.R.
So, if this is
William
your first
H.
episode,
Macy.
our gimmick is we pick one letter and we each
Terry
select...
Crews.
gimmick.
We each select
We're not
one
a
movie
gimmick.
from that letter. This is season 1, episode.
We call this the early
16.
years.
Yeah, this is the Bronze Age. This is the Stone Age of podcasts.
This is like LeBron when he was in Cleveland. His first stint.
Cleveland, yeah.
His first stint in Cleveland. This is like
We're like the LeBron James of podcasting.
yeah. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, what is your guys' favorite movie?
I like Eraserhead a lot.
No, of the bunch.
Oh, none of them. That's the
Okay,
episode.
thank you guys for listening
Yeah.
and tuning next
Donate.
time where
All right.
tuning next time
No
where
more
we,
jokes. All right. I'm really sick of jokes.
Yeah,
I
we've
hate
been reading
jokes.
the Mal,
I'm really
the fan
sick
emails.
of joking around.
Fan
on this.
They all say stop jokes. Stop
So
doing the
let's
jokes.
let's get
They
serious.
said I was
wanna
really
know-
enjoying it until
Well, we
Carter
have to talk
said
about a
joke.
very serious film.
No.
Interview with the Vampire.
What do you mean? What's
With
not
the
serious
vampire.
about it?
It's 100% legit.
All right,
There's no-
Nick. What's
Yeah.
that movie about? What's that about? Who's in it?
Interview-
Who directed it?
It's directed by Neil Jordan.
Michael.
Michael Jordan.
He's the Michael
Michael-
Yeah,
Jordan.
they
of-
call him the Jordan of filmmaking.
It follows a gay couple of vampires.
Well, no. Start from the. What's
they-
it?
Gay couple.
They adopt.
What's it about?
They
They're not
adopt.
gay.
It's about it. It's an interview.
Okay, I'll start over.
With the
Brad Pitt may
vampire.
be a pedo, but he's not gay.
Slave owner Brad Pitt.
Oh, I forgot he was a slave owner.
I know. I was not expecting a slave uprising in this movie. But
They straight up. I did like the fact that they didn't sugarcoat it and like be like, "Oh, he's a nice Southerner." No, he's literally a slave owner.
he freed them.
Did
free
he?
them.
I think
Yeah.
they just freed themselves.
No,
at
he
their-
freed them.
They uprose
Kind
and he
of.
was like, "Yeah, you guys are free."
Whatever, go. I don't care.
I'm a vampire now.
I didn't realize he had a New York
I love
accent.
Brad Pitt.
He loves sucking dick.
Jesus Christ, Nick.
You didn't get
When he
any-
meets his gay best friend Tom Cruise, and he sucks him
describe
dry.
the movie?
Dude, there's nothing
You
gay
didn't
about
even
this
explain
movie.
why it's called Interview with the Vampire.
You didn't
He
even
meets-
start
cut
from the
straight to the
I didn't even
chase.
start the
Okay.
beginning.
We'll start from the beginning.
Maybe you should.
It's San
Start with
Francisco.
podcasting class 101.
We're
Yeah,
in
you need
San
podcasting for
Francisco.
dummies.
We're starting in San Francisco, the 1990s. A young-faced Christian Slater before his life was ruined.
Before his nymphomaniac days.
Before his nymphomaniac days.
He's Mr. Robot.
He is. That's the best thing he's done, I think.
What else has he done?
Interview with the
know.
Vampire.
Nymphomaniac.
He was in Alone in the Dark.
I don't know what that.
Are you
stupid
alone in the
shit
dark?
is.
I'm alone.
Wait, no, it's Are You Afraid of
Is
the
that
Dark?
is that Goosebumps?
No, that's the
No, that's the other
Canadian
one.
version of Goosebumps.
Do you know that had Ryan
Oh,
Gosling
that's
in it?
is that the one that Guillermo del Toro did?
No,
made?
that's Scary
Stories to
Stories.
Tell in Dark.
It's all the same.
No, it's
Every
not.
horror movie is the same.
Those are books.
It's all about thrills and spills.
And vampires
I don't like 'em.
sucking
They're
each other
gross.
dry.
All right, okay. You're gonna
Is
ask
this
us
a horror movie?
There's a lot of sucking and fucking.
Yeah, this is more. I'd like to see the Interview with a Vampire adult version.
This basically is it.
XXX.
And what did you guys think of this
There's
movie?
boobs in this.
There is boobs in this.
Oh, I forgot about the tit. There's
Do you
a lot
want-
of-
you want me to go
there's a good
first or
amount
you
of
to go
titties.
first?
You go first.
So I'm of two minds on this film.
A
There's-
tale of two minds.
There's the side
Tale
of me
two
that's like,
minds.
you know what? Yeah, I'll do a Tom Cruise, young Kirsten Dunst,
She
Antonia.
sucks in
Antonia.
this
She does
movie.
not suck in this. I
I thought she was
disagree.
Ah, she was
terrible.
fine, in my opinion.
I thought she
and
was
I like
good.
Kirsten Dunst as an
I think she-
actress, but I thought she
Yeah,
was
yeah,
only
really
if she's
bad.
naked, am I right?
But you know, I was like,
Shut the fuck up.
the one mind of me is
Oh.
like, Yeah,
I
sure.
do like
I'll
me some Kristen
go
Dunst
for a
stuff.
Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Antonio Banderas
Sucking.
vampire homosexual undertone movie.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? This is
Much
cool.
gay
And
undertone
then
in
there's
this
another
movie.
side of me that's like, whoa, this could have been something really excellent, and they really kind of dropped the ball on every single thematic element this seemed to want to explore.
I don't know what happened.
Because there's so much stuff with, like, they could explore homosexuality, they could explore abuse, they can explore, like, pedophilia, they could explore aging, and they kind of
They
brush
do
against
a
it.
little bit of
But
all
there's
that.
so much potential to tell a vampire story that deals with all that stuff in an excellent way.
They
and
focus on the weirdest things in
and they
this movie.
totally don't really deliver on it, which is a bummer because I think this could have been actually something really great and not just a
I'll admit,
goofy Tom Cruise.
This movie has some great things. I would say the makeup and effects are probably the best thing in this movie.
I do like, yeah.
Like
I
that
like the
scene,
I like the
the
next-
scene in the cathedral where he slices that vampire. That's awesome.
That's goofy.
Stan Winston did the effects for this, and if
I
you
don't
don't
know who
know,
that
he's kind of a effects guru. If you've seen a lot of horror, you know his work.
The master of effects.
His effects really shine in this, I would say.
There's a lot of fires in this movie.
Yeah.
3 of them. 3 fires.
We didn't start the fire.
Pitt did though. Pitt kind
he
of
started a fire.
he started a fire and slice and dice.
Oh, he started a fire in me. But you know what? But as I was saying, I kind of dig the like really corny, over the top, like almost like theater-ish acting
Yeah.
that they bring, even though it like
Tom Cruise.
I don't know, it's so
Fine in
ridiculous.
this movie.
Like Brad Pitt plays like a really emo, and Tom Cruise kind of just plays like an asshole,
Yeah.
like, prick, and I kind of I enjoyed it. And then Antonio Banderas comes in, and
He's the gayest.
whoever
character.
that other guy who he's
He's
with comes in and starts dancing around and stuff, and I was like, you know, this movie's all right. I'm fine with.
I'm so split on
I
this.
enjoyed it.
It kind
I
of
enjoyed it too, but
I enjoyed it all the way
It's
through.
kind of like dumb fun.
Yeah.
I do think it goes on for a little too long.
That's what I'm saying. The
'Cause
first
it's got
half
like a
is
2.5
better.
hour
The first
runtime.
it's like 2 hours.
I would.
No, it's like 2:20. I think.
I'd
like
say I
202.
enjoyed the movie more in
no,
the
I
second
really don't
half.
think so.
It is. I
Look
just
at
watched
Google
it
it.
today.
Pretty sure it's at least 2:15.
No, it's
Isn't it like
2
8 hours
123. It's 2 hours
Oh,
and
really?
2
I
minutes.
thought it was longer.
No,
Oh, but
Just
I still
literally
think
watched
it's
it
too
today.
long.
I agree. I think the second half is weaker than the first.
I would
half.
agree with that.
I would disagree.
I
I like the
loved
second half
all
more.
the campy, over the top.
Me too,
Cheesy, and I just remember thinking like, this is insane that like 2 of the biggest celebrities ever.
This is really one
are
of, like-
drinking rat's blood.
This is-
and drinking.
No. I was gonna say that it's like insane that this is kind of
They
a
signed on to
crazy
this.
like
Yeah, and
like,
it's so campy,
not
and silly,
blockbuster, but
and
AAA movie. Like
Over
it's a
the
very
top.
strange release.
there's so many sets and massive set pieces, and it's just
Yeah.
it's just a really campy movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's just
that's
like
very large
know it's set
scale.
up.
I guess it could take itself seriously and be really great, but for what it is, I think I enjoyed it. There was a lot of moments I really liked. Like, I loved this killing montage of the little girl killing people. I
me
loved
too.
that stuff.
I thought Kirsten
I
Dunst was
loved-
actually really good in this.
I loved all the stuff with like just Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise acting over the top. When deformed Tom Cruise comes back.
That's
I really
my
liked
favorite.
that. I love.
and then immediately gets burned to death.
I
Yeah,
love like
Jesus
him
Christ.
popping out in the end in that car is so silly.
that.
That's so
I love
great.
Brad
Surprise
Pitt's like
Cruise.
over the top struggle with like, oh, I shouldn't suck people's blood, and
And then
like,
the first person he
sucking
does is a
rats.
child.
Yeah. Like what the fuck?
See, that's what I'm saying. There's like chances to like explore ideas of like abuse of children and like leaving them in a
Yeah.
state of youth and like
and like her struggle with like wanting to become a woman.
yeah, there's a lot of like
that stuff is all interesting, but it's not really.
it doesn't.
explored,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. That's kind of what bums me out about this movie is that there's something there and it's like
Yeah, I think there's a lot.
a more
there.
competent director, writer, whatever could have actually. I'm sure the book
But I really
is.
don't think that's what it was going for.
I know that's. I just kind of part of
just
me
frustrating.
wishes it because it is there. You know what I'm saying?
there could potentially be a lot to it, but it's more like this epic vampire story, which is campy, and you get to watch Tom Cruise.
Tom
and Brad
Cruise,
Pitt
in order to survive,
act really over the top and suck each other.
Suck each other off.
This is a very gay movie.
Yeah, can we talk about
from
that?
the jump?
They should have
Blood
just
from
had them be
people
gay,
and-
if I'm being honest.
It's the point is that it's supposed to be like undertone.
Yeah, the whole thing is like a metaphor.
I'm
for
sure the book.
homosexuality.
I'm sure the book that it's based off explores all these
I've heard
themes.
the book is like actually great.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure the book explores all these
Is it
themes
gay?
much more in depth. I'd actually be interested to read it
But
because
you,
I think
you know, I'm fine if they go with the campy.
Yeah,
silly
but
route.
it-
and I
it
thought it
doesn't-
was a
it
very
bums me a
enjoyable
little bit.
experience. You mentioned the ending. I really liked the ending. I think it goes on
The
for
ending's so
when they got
fun.
to like the secret cult of vampires. I
Yeah,
thought
I
that
kinda
that
lost
was like cool, but they didn't go.
I was
in-depth.
more interested in that than the
They
beginning
spent
of
a
the
little
movie.
too much time on it, and I wish they either spent more time on it and went more in depth, or just cut it back.
I don't know. I
'Cause
think the way
spent
they
a little
ended
too
it
much
was
time on it.
perfect.
with like decapitation.
Yes.
Oh,
shit's
that
so
stuff is
awesome.
so cool.
Yeah,
Stan Winston,
I liked
man.
the idea of like the vampires are pretend to be vampires in the plays, and then
Yeah, that was
kill real
cool.
I thought that
Yeah, I
stuff was
did
cool.
too.
And just like
when you
the
see
whole
you
like
eating.
we've traveled around the world through all the ages stuff was cool.
That's what I'm saying. They could have also done stuff with like the idea of aging and
Yeah.
like
I
that,
wish
but it doesn't.
Brad Pitt-
I'm sure the
Would have seen a movie that he was in at the theater.
Does feel like a bit of a missed opportunity, but for what it is,
Tom
I
Cruise
enjoyed it.
eats an alligator's blood in order
Oh my
to
God,
survive,
yeah,
and that's pretty cool.
just like stuff like
and
that.
Kirsten
Tom-
Dunst dresses up as like an older woman, but she's still a kid, and that's pretty funny. When they go to
Yeah.
the play, and she's like dressed as if she's like an
I'll
older
be
woman,
honest,
but
I did not expect her to die. That was something that
pretty messed up. When
that
she
is
fir-
pretty messed up. That's a pretty
When
good
she
scene,
morphs, it's very weird. It's very surreal when she does her first like morph into the vampire.
actually. Yeah.
It's a very odd,
Yeah.
weird
But
thing.
no, I think probably my favorite part is the killing montage of her.
That is
killing
funny.
I
People.
don't
It's
know.
so funny.
Nothing
And then the
like
whole
it.
thing with like Brad Pitt killing Tom Cruise, I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
And like setting,
okay,
there's
now
so much fire in this
take
movie.
this movie, but Travolta and Cage,
That'd be incredible.
No, that.
and now
that
you have a
would another
masterpiece.
10 out of
You
10.
have another mass. Yeah,
I just thought the novelty of seeing of two of the biggest actors of all
I
time.
want to suck his blood. I'm off today.
The novelty of seeing two of the biggest actors of all time and a child actor who ended up becoming a huge star too.
I disagree with you that she was bad in this. I think she was
No,
actually
I
really
thought
good.
she was bad.
She was nominated for a Golden Globe for this.
She's a good actress.
I think
thought
this
she
was-
was bad as a child in the Virgin Suicides too,
I haven't
my
seen
God.
that.
but she was more of a teenager then. But I mean, Melancholia is an amazing performance. I'm
Agreed.
a Dunst fan, but
The least
Nah.
attractive
nope.
Mary
The
Jane.
most
Oh, we're going
attractive
into
Mary
this?
Jane.
The least attractive
I don't
Mary
wanna
Jane.
get into this,
The
but
most attractive.
yeah.
Over Emma Stone.
Yep, put her over
Oh
Emma
my
Stone.
God.
I was an Emma Stone fan, but I've changed. I've learned to accept myself,
John, are you
accept my
Zendaya?
feelings more.
Emma Stone, Zendaya, Kirsten Dunst.
No, Kirsten Dunst at the top. For me.
You just admit you don't like mixed girls. It's fine.
Okay, I'm not trying to get canceled.
Just say it. You hate black people.
Look, listen, you've already made it abundantly
I
clear.
don't hate mixed girls. I just think
And
of
gingers.
the bunch.
Yeah.
I think both Zendaya and Emma Stone are attractive, but my favorite is Kirsten Dunst.
Well, you're wrong. It's okay. You can be wrong
I
sometimes.
haven't really seen any of the Spider-Man movies.
Spider-Man 2 is the best superhero movie.
You're wrong.
Which Spider-Man was
No.
Emma Stone with?
Spider-Man 2 isn't
Amazing
even the best.
Spider-Man? The one
Spider-Man 2 is
the
the
ones
best.
everyone
Gotta be
Spider-Man
forgot
2
about.
isn't even the best Spider-Man movie.
That is
Spider-Verse, you
completely
think,
wrong.
was the best? Spider-Verse was cool.
I gotta
The
rewatch
stories-
Spider-Man 2,
Yeah.
but Spider-Verse
I'm
is...
scared.
Spider-
The
soundtrack is
Sunflower
bad.
is good.
Sunflower's a good song, but the rest of
Sunflower's
the
a
song...
good song, but it completely ruins an emotional moment when Spider-Man has just died. I'm not scared.
Listen, that was one of the most awesome like theater experiences I've had seeing that.
I had a
When the
interesting
entire
theory.
family walked
When
in the middle of
entire
it.
family came in the middle of the
That's a
movie and
bummer.
was confused. Literally at the maybe emotional climax.
It
of the
was.
movie.
Hey, it's another I movie.
They came in and said
Into the Spider-Verse.
they came in and were like,
nice.
They told us we were sitting in the wrong seats, and we were
I
like,
remember
I
that.
would have said up yours.
we were like, clearly we're not. It's the middle of the movie.
No,
And
those
then
are
there,
seats.
there was little kids running through the
Oh my
aisles.
god, yeah, I remember looking over and seeing a
And
kid
their
like
parents
dash
were not
by.
doing
Oh, I'm
whatever.
sorry. I had a great.
I had a great experience.
I mean,
with
I'm just
still
talking
this.
about like
cool.
seeing it on the big screen.
Yeah.
Made me
It
a
was
little
a
nauseous.
really-
the focus.
Oh my god, you're such a baby.
Whatever. I still really like that. movie.
like roller coasters.
Well, I guess we're done talking about Interview with.
Yeah, what are
It's
the
a cool
scores?
movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you want an epic tale with some campy acting, like whenever they'd float, I thought that was funny.
It reminded me of like what we do in the shadows.
yeah.
The show, like has
I love the movie.
The movie's so
love
good.
that movie.
the show's really good, and the
I
show
need
has
to
some
watch
like
the show.
crazy good production value. Like it actually
Really?
does like the flying and stuff really well.
FX has been really killing it with like the original series.
Yeah,
I haven't
I like the
watched it,
Fargo
but-
show.
Atlanta.
I heard
Atlanta's
Fargo
great.
was good.
Atlanta's so good. I'm so excited for that new season.
Atlanta had the Fargo show has a like Don Hertzfeld does animation for one of the
Oh, really?
episodes. It's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, that was the short you showed me on the bus.
Atlanta feels like a Twin Peaks. show
Speaking of Don
sometimes.
Hertzfeld, World of Tomorrow 1 and 2 are both excellent.
I gotta watch
and
it.
3 is coming out soon.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Have
Oh.
you seen It's Such a Beautiful Day?
No, I want to though.
It's amazing.
One of the greatest animated movies ever made.
Probably my favorite animated movie, quite honestly.
End of
Um,
Evangelion.
No way, it's better
Oh,
than
I
9.
never watched
You
that.
said that I only watched the Evangelion movie and not the show.
No, I didn't.
So he said.
What?
Never mind. Well,
That's what Hannah told me.
Oh no.
oh, well.
So many rumors can spring.
I
know.
said, I did watch the show. I did.
I gotta watch the show.
I gotta watch.
But
it all,
I gotta
guess.
watch Ozark season 3 after I finish Twin Peaks.
I need to
and
watch
gotta
Ozark.
watch.
I've heard so many good
I gotta watch
things.
Mr. Robot season 4.
Oh, it's so good.
And then after,
Oh,
I
I'm
like
getting-
Ozark.
I'm getting deep. I'm getting into television lately.
I haven't. I'm not a huge television fan. I'm more of a mini-series guy. I like mini-series. I gotta watch The Last Dance. Heard Last
I do
Dance
too.
was good. I
I
saw
heard
an
that was
episode or
good.
two when my dad was watching it, and I thought it was
I want to see
awesome.
Jordan talk about gambling and doing drugs. All right, whatever.
Anyways,
Scores.
Sorry if
Sorry
this
about
wasn't an
We did say we talk about
an ex-
movies and
yeah.
everything in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Did we
this
cut
wasn't
that
an
one?
extensive review, that's okay. It's just a fun movie, in my opinion, and I enjoyed it.
What's the scores?
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
7.
Woo!
I was between a 5 and a 6 when I finished, but then as time went on, learned to accept.
I was pretty
what it-
firm 6.
This would have been
I-
a 10 if Brad and Tom kissed.
I've learned.
They like sucked each other's necks.
They didn't swap spit, did they?
Swap
I've
blood.
learned to accept.
Didn't they
this,
kiss?
No.
Learn to accept this movie
In my
for what it
dreams,
is.
maybe.
No, because they put blood in each other. Whatever.
They did not put blood in each other's mouth.
Okay,
Out
whatever.
of
Next
10.
movie.
I enjoyed it.
Moving on.
They should have sucked and fucked. They only sucked.
I'm a cyborg, but that's okay. I'm not talking about myself.
what?
I'm not talking about myself, that is. I'm talking about the film by one Park Chan-wook.
Can you not make
Of-
noises?
Of Old Boy fame,
Cyborg
of
movies.
Handmaiden fame,
Beep boop.
of... He made Thirst.
Old boys.
Another
so
vampire
good.
movie.
Thirst?
Yeah.
The one we watched?
Another vampire
I gotta watch
movie.
the Vengeance trilogy.
I do too.
Lady Vengeance.
It's good audio.
There is a cool Arrow release of the Vengeance
Yeah,
trilogy.
I gotta get
I
a
might scoop
Universal
that.
Blu-ray player.
Do you have
for
Vengeance
it.
trilogy?
No, I don't think all
No.
Arrows have to be.
Not all, but most.
'Cause my audition-
Including the Vengeance trilogy.
I want to
believe.
get that audition one somewhere.
I know their new Hodorowski box set isn't.
Oh, they have a box. Oh,
They're releasing El Topo, Holy Mountain.
Arrow's got some good, cool stuff.
Arrow's awesome.
Their covers are 10 times better than Criterion's.
They are.
most of the time.
But some of the stuff they release is like...
I don't think they have as many special.
Because they're
features.
more focused on like genre.
Yeah, they're
picks.
more
Yeah, they're
focused on
horror.
cold hits.
Yeah, which is
They
cool.
got that
I like it.
Tetsuo box.
Dude,
I want that really bad now.
there's some things on Arrow I look at and like, I would die happy if I had that.
Why don't you just buy it?
Because
If
I don't
they're
wanna,
gonna make you die.
Because I don't want to
happy.
die yet, Carter. Jeez.
Anyway, I'm a cyborg, but that's okay.
Is it...
Hard to kind of. There's no real plot to this.
Yeah,
the
there is.
What are
girl.
you talking about?
Yeah,
It's
there's a
pretty
plot.
very loose
Cracker.
plot.
Not, I didn't think so.
A girl.
I didn't think so either.
A girl
This
thinks
thing's
she's a
got-
cyborg.
I
She
thought
thinks.
it's pretty structured,
Yeah.
I disagree, but
normal plot.
I disagree.
Yeah,
But
I could follow it.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you're
Could you let
talking.
me
I don't know
finish?
what you're on right now. But
I'm on those batteries.
Yeah, I don't know.
So this girl, thinks she's a cyborg, or she is, depending on how you look at it.
No, it's clear that
I
she's
don't-
not.
I'm joking. I was making a joke.
That'd be a weird interpretation of this movie.
Listen.
You know what? She might actually be a cyborg.
And she thinks she has to live off batteries and electricity to charge herself. It leads her to get committed to a institution where she meets a cast of zany characters.
This is
Very accurate portrayal.
kind of
Yeah,
like
very
mental illness.
accurate
One
portrayal of
Flew Over the
mental
Cuckoo's Nest.
kind of not.
Yeah.
But
Well, one.
and she meets a guy
Oh,
who
they're the same thing.
a sort of kleptomaniac who thinks has like these stealth powers and can like steal people's souls or something.
No,
like
steal
steals
their
their
personality.
Yeah, he stole their
personalities, same thing.
Like their personality.
You know what I
Not
traits.
same
mean?
thing.
Whatever. You knew what I meant when I said it. Could you
just-
stop patronizing me? I will walk
sorry.
out.
Sorry that you've been wrong.
And it's a rom com.
It is
It
a
is.
rom-com.
So
Unconventional rom-com.
we'll get into more plot stuff. But what do you guys think?
You didn't even mention her grandma.
I said we'll get into more
Okay,
plot
whatever.
stuff. What
I
do you
really
guys think?
liked it. Thought it was good.
That was great. I really liked it.
Are
Not
we
better
doing
than
me?
Old Boy.
Yeah,
I did not like this.
What?
Really?
Did
Why
not
not?
stick for me. Didn't think any of the
Wow.
humor, none of the humor really landed for me.
Really?
No, I thought this
I
movie
think
was
it's-
really
Thought it was a
funny.
very sweet movie.
I think the central
enjoyed it.
romance is sweet, and that's just about it.
Really?
I don't think it has much interesting to say about mental illness, nor does it
No,
really
I
portray
I don't think
it.
it's trying to say
No,
I
anything
know,
it's a
about
very
this.
comical movie-ified
Yeah.
And that's the
version of
thing.
mental
I
illness.
did not.
And I don't
I did
have
not
a
think it
problem
was.
with
I did
that.
not think it was comical. So that's where it falls short.
But
for
even
me.
then, it's
I
extremely
got.
creative. and,
Yeah,
like,
even then, I didn't
guess.
think it was like that funny of a movie.
I
but
found myself getting a little annoyed by it.
I thought the quirks were enjoyable. to
I
me.
Yes,
did.
me
Oh,
too.
well, I didn't. So that's
and
where we
each,
differ.
each character had their own little personality trait that I enjoyed.
I thought that was great.
The most interesting
Yeah.
character to me
I really
was
liked
the
it.
male lead.
Yeah, I agree.
I think his stuff with like feeling unseen, and that's what led him to steal, is the most interesting thematically here.
yeah.
And besides that and the central romance, I didn't really. This kind of lost me at certain points, especially
Like
with
what
like some of
points?
like the CG stuff, like really kind of.
No, I thought that
Annoyed
stuff
me.
was
It's
fun.
intentionally like.
I know, and I
silly
just didn't
over
like
the
it.
top.
You're telling me you didn't
He's
like.
a fun hater.
I'll say one of my favorite things in this movie I didn't expect was the soundtrack. It's so good and catchy. Like the Yodel song.
The
Yeah, I
yodel
like
moment.
so
I did not
like
like the
that.
bug yodel moment.
What?
Like,
What?
That's like the best part in the
Oh
movie.
my god, we have a fun hater here.
I'm not a fun
I
hater.
just thought it was a sweet movie.
I thought it was really sweet.
And I totally see that. It just didn't. It did not. It never clicked for me.
I wouldn't say it worked 100% for me, but
Yeah, I agree.
you know what? I was feeling kind of the same way when it started, and then it grew on me more and more. And I
It-
think the scene where it grew on me the most is when she murders every.
Oh my
Actually,
god!
like,
yeah.
I like
I
the
love
wish. I
that
like the
stuff.
wish fulfillment death fantasy because that's like that.
Yeah.
That's just that reminds you that this is a Park Chan-wook movie.
I love that stuff.
That stuff is
But
so good.
I guess I'm
so
the
good.
opposite, where I kind of started invested, and as it went along, it kind of lost me more and more.
But even
Really?
then, you have to give that this movie's extremely well shot. Like the first shot is immediately like.
I don't think so.
I think it's more well made than one shot.
I didn't think it was well shot.
Some of the stuff I thought was overexposed.
yeah, I did
But
not
like I don't
necessarily
care
like how
about
this
that,
looked.
but I thought it was a really well edited. And
Yeah, like everything
I think he's just
presentation wise.
yeah, he's a talented filmmaker.
He is. He totally
And
is. This just didn't really work
He's
for me.
great at editing and framing shots, so I think that made a very enjoyable experience.
Yeah,
I loved
I-
how each mental illness patient had their own little quirk.
Yeah,
had
that
their
was
own
really
little
cool.
so
thing about
that's
them.
like I feel like it's a you kind of it's hard to walk the line between like just like laughing at people with mental like making jokes out of people with mental illness, you know, when I think it's like a
yeah, but it's so clearly.
so
I know, and
over the
it didn't.
top.
It just didn't work for me, and it annoyed me kind of.
Like,
That like it was
there's
just like okay, it's just like this is being quirky. It's like look at these people with mental
mental
illnesses that aren't mental illness. I think it
I
was
would
like
say One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is
I've never seen that.
more potentially offensive movie than this.
I've never
because
seen
it
it.
does kind of claim to be a more accurate portrayal.
I'm not saying this is necessarily like I don't know if
I don't
wasn't
even know if I'd
aff-
consider like that's the main thing.
I wasn't
No,
really
it's not
offended
about that.
I
That's
wasn't
why it's still a
offended
great
by
movie.
this. I
yeah,
just
phenomenal.
I'm not sure like how I feel about like putting together a comedy based off of like these people in a mental institute when like the actuality of mental institutes is very dark and like kind of sad.
Well,
Yeah, but
And-
There's
also
a
this
lot of-
movie doesn't really exist in reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I don't
and
know.
that's why I think it didn't bother me, because it's such a over the top
Yeah.
portrayal of
like the first person we see is like a commentary on like these cliche like here's the people that are locked in here. And when we first see the doctor like approach her and be like, oh yeah, this person just makes up everything.
yeah, I like just all that stuff about how each person, like the lady, the chubby lady who's like
Yeah.
cares about.
I
her
do like how it
skin
makes
and-
it does make them kind of real people, and it does like make them like sympathetic.
Yeah, like I saw
characters,
myself
but-
caring about them.
Yeah,
But, like I don't,
cared
I
and
just don't
liked
know how
all
I
the
feel
people.
about the
And
representation.
I was never laughing at them. I don't
No.
think. I mean, I didn't think the movie was super funny. But
I didn't really laugh once.
I didn't like
No, I didn't think it was funny. I more just smiled at it. 'Cause
Yeah,
I thought
it's
there
fun.
were a lot of sweet, endearing moments throughout.
I think the main romance is sweet.
And the whole thing with her, like I absolutely love the scene where he pretends to like open the door on her back. And
yeah, that
putting
seems
the-
so good.
Just all that stuff with like him trying to figure out a clever way to make her eat, I thought was so sweet. And the stuff with her putting in her grandma's teeth, like that stuff was like the
So I'm
darkest
saying,
part of
I think
the
the
movie.
main two, their mental illnesses. I think when that stuff is kind of fully explored, like her, like obviously, I feel like
The
like
stuff
thinking
with her
you're a,
grandma is
thinking you're a,
fascinating.
Yeah.
and like thinking you're a cyborg as a means to kind of explain your own deficiencies, or I think I think what it's trying to say, she had like some sort of eating disorder
Yeah.
or something. Like I think that's an interesting spin on that sort of illness. And again,
And like all the rules of being a cyborg, you're not allowed to. Like,
yeah,
be
I think
be
that's what I'm
sad.
saying.
No
when
sympathy.
when
Yeah, and
the
it's all to cope with the fact that her grandma is dying and is insane, and she
Yeah.
came
that's
from
what
a
I'm
broken
saying is like
family.
when the mental illnesses are like really kind of fully explored and stuff, I think that's where this movie excels. But like the stuff around it with all the other characters, it seems like it was kind of just using it as like laughing points instead
I
of
don't-
fully exploring.
They
it.
do explain like some of them.
I know, but it's not. Nothing's ever
Yeah,
really
but I
like.
didn't feel like I was ever laughing at them.
Yeah.
I felt like it was more like they were just quirky.
I know, but I think that's what it was like
additions.
going for. Was like using them
I
as
don't
like
even know if I'd
quirky
say that.
humor.
I don't
because you
know
care about
that.
them as characters. You never are like sitting at looking at them being like,
Yeah, like this
just
is-
my laughing object,
Yeah.
and you'll be nothing more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
guess.
agree with that.
I don't know.
I thought it explored a lot of interesting ideas with family and denial and mental illness being a result of your past. And I thought the actual relationship between the two leads was very endearing and I thought incredibly sweet.
That's all I gotta
And
say.
I just thought it was a pretty well made movie and very enjoyable. So I liked it.
A lot of great musical numbers too.
Yep.
Like the yodeling song.
Yep, I really like the yodeling
it's
song.
so good.
Because he steals someone's voice.
It's such a
So
good
funny.
scene.
Yeah.
That's kind of that bug like yodel flying thing is kind of where I really started to check
Really?
out.
That's where I was like, this is something.
There was when she shot up the place that I really enjoyed.
Jesus.
Because he's
I
also
liked
really
that.
good at action.
Yeah, like it was legitimately well done even when it was
Yeah.
action.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of campy at times, but I thought, for the most part, most stuff is well done.
But
The
I've-
CGI is goofy looking, but that
It's really goofy, but it works.
feels intentional.
Yeah. I'll ask you one. Is she a cyborg?
No.
Yes, because
And I thought
maybe
that-
she can
That whole idea of her
identify as a
using it way to
cyborg
cope is really
in this
fascinating to
PC
me.
America. She can identify as a cyborg.
oh shit.
I thought that was just a really interesting way of showing denial of
Yeah.
illnesses, of
Yeah.
like anorexia and whatever
I'm with you.
baggage she had.
But then why is it called I'm a Cyborg?
Because
That's
you
okay.
you may have
'Cause you have to
problems, but it's
accept
okay.
people's
I do like the
problems
name-
To love them.
like-
This
the
makes
name.
no sense.
I like the name of the movie as well.
Oh, that's your biggest compliment.
Wasn't my biggest compliment, but
I'm a cyborg.
all right. Well,
That's okay.
anything
no-
else? I don't have
no
really.
bread and
John hates fun, but that's okay.
no bread and Tom kissing Zerata.
All right. Yeah. Anything else to say about this? I'm
Oh
kind of.
my god.
I kind of want to push it aside and forget about it. If it ever existed.
Jeez.
Just kidding, I didn't hate it that much.
Yeah.
I just didn't really.
I can understand where you're coming from.
I don't know.
though,
I
yeah.
wasn't a fan.
I'll say I didn't like it more than Oldboy.
I guess
Oldboy
it
is
could be
definitely
annoying.
better.
Well, Old
Oh my
Boy's like
God.
a masterpiece.
Old Boy's a
Yeah.
borderline 10.
All right.
I would say Oldboy's a 10 for me.
It's his movie. Okay, spoiler. He edits his movies in a way where it can be kind of hard to process information. I loved
spoiler alert.
the credit. It's a spoiler. It's literally the twist of the movie.
Yeah, you did just completely spoil the main twist.
Is it?
What?
Did you not?
Nick read the plot synopsis.
No.
That's
I
like
thought-
It's literally
That's
the
like one of the
biggest
big-
twist of the movie.
I
that's one of
thought
the
you-
biggest twists like I've ever watched.
That was my bad.
That movie's fucking awesome.
It is great.
Handmaiding's really
You can
good,
cut that
too.
out if you
He's just
want.
a really excellent filmmaker.
He is.
And sometimes he edits his movie. It can be kind of overwhelming at first and kind of
Does
hard to
he
process
edit it?
everything.
You don't know
but
if he edits it.
I don't know.
Well, he has
his
an editing
editor,
style.
Yeah.
Like
But
even
assuming that he
Oldboy
doesn't
starts
have-
like that.
I loved the credits in this movie. The opening credits, so cool.
I agree. I love a good opening credits sequence.
Alright.
Are we going scores?
Yeah, you guys go first.
Yeah, I'll give it
It's
a
my
7
movie.
out of 10.
8.
I was between a 4 and a 5. 4.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
So much hatred for a
sorry.
movie about love.
I'm sorry. Palm Springs is a better rom-com.
No! No, it is not.
I would disagree with that.
Not in the slightest.
I even like
Palm Springs, I forgot about 30 seconds after it ended.
Well,
I disagree with that.
Palm Springs sucks.
I'm in the middle.
Give it a-
It doesn't suck, it's just so generic and
Wrong.
forgettable.
I disagree there.
Alright, this isn't Palm Springs cast.
Well, I just want to say, Palm Springs
Okay.
is most overrated.
4,
of 2020.
4, 7, 8.
Okay, you can't call Palm Springs when you haven't seen every movie in 2020.
Yeah, but that's the only movie I heard non-stop hype about. How
Yeah,
good
Mr.
Palm
Okay,
Springs
Mr.
is.
King of Staten Island.
Well, I
biggest
want to
fan.
watch King of Staten Island.
I don't care about David. P.
Oh my god.
P.
if
Davidson.
you want to know my overrated movie, it's Invisible Man.
I gotta watch Invisible
Invisible
Man.
Man isn't overrated. I feel like everyone's like, this was good. This was
No.
okay.
Yeah, I never heard anyone like being like, "Wow, this is the best movie."
I heard that.
Painted Bird, most overrated movie.
I haven't seen it.
That's the
I
worst.
heard nothing about that.
Genuinely
movie. That movie
one of the
forgot.
worst movies I've
It
ever
also
seen.
didn't come out this year.
Did it?
No, it's 2019 release.
Really?
Wide, if
It
it
got
wi-
widely released.
like I
this
said, if
year.
it wide releases
I
during
go by what
2020.
Letterboxd says.
Okay, well you're a sheep.
You're the cyborg.
Sorry.
You're the sheep. You're a sheep.
If it's not by what Letterboxd says, The Assistant is the best movie I've seen this year.
I don't care about
Why are we doing
the
that?
Ozark girl.
Yeah, she's a fantastic actress.
She's a great actor.
I started The
She's
Assistant.
so
I
good.
really wanted to finish it, but I didn't get it
Oh
to.
my god.
I know, I really wanted to finish it, but I got
far
busy
did
with
you get
something.
in?
I think I got an hour in, but what I saw, I loved.
Why didn't you finish it? There's like
It's an
20
hour,
minutes
20
left.
Nick, it's an hour and 25 minutes.
There's like
No.
there's like 10 minutes left, and I'm done. I don't want to finish this.
I think someone called me, and I got distracted. I just never went back to it.
How long was the phone
It's an
call?
hour and 25 minutes.
Well, I'm not
You were
gonna...
literally past the climax of the movie.
Yeah, and also when I got off the call, it was like 1 in the morning.
Oh my god.
Okay, what's next?
Trust me, I'll finish
I
it.
don't think I can talk about movies with you guys anymore.
Yeah, we're
does
done. This is our
that
last
mean?
episode.
Anyways, I forgot I picked this one. Inland Empire, directed by David Lynch.
What's this one about?
Would you like?
Yeah, I want to
How
see
about we
this.
just read from
What is
Wikipedia?
this?
Don't
No,
we just
no.
read?
No, I want to see
I'll
Carter
explain
do
it.
this.
got
I want you to explain it, and then I'll
Yeah.
read from
Okay.
Wikipedia
Okay, I
as
like
a
this,
joke.
yeah.
See how close you are.
Inland
to it.
Empire is about an actress who. She's an actress, and she is in a new role with a popular co-star
What's
who's
his
kind of
name?
known
Oh my
to
God,
be
this is a
a
lot.
bad boy, and so they're like, "Uh-oh, you better not have sex with him," even though they're both married. And then,
Oh my god. Hang on, I got
and
it.
then
I'll speed run it.
they get to the set, and it is revealed that
It's cursed.
the movie is a remake of a Polish movie called 47, which is called 47, which is like the two leads were murdered on set,
Mhm.
so it was never finished, and this is a remake of that. And then there's a
They're sort of
person-
returning to the film.
yeah,
If you're picking up what I'm
Yeah.
putting down.
and then she
It's the return.
she walks through the she
you give
enters
up?
the palace.
Do you give up yet?
She enters the palace, and then that's when things go awry, and she goes back in time, and then
Does she?
there's
Yeah,
like
does she go back in
Polish
time?
stuff and a lot of stuff about prostitution.
Gotta like.
And she meets all the abused women, and the movie descends into chaos when she enters the palace. Very similar to how when Naomi Watts finds the key in, or is it the other girl?
Arguably, it's when she looks through the hole and she burned in her underwear. It's when things start to go crazy.
In this movie?
Yes.
No, it's when she enters the palace, I thought.
Fair enough.
Because that's when she
I suppose.
travels
Okay,
back
would
in
you like me
time.
to speed run this Wikipedia
Back in time.
Do we
plot
need the
synopsis?
Wikipedia?
Yes.
Okay.
In a hotel room, a young prostitute identified in the credits as the Lost Girl cries following an unpleasant encounter with her client while watching a television show about a family of surrealistic and anthropomorphic rabbits who speak in cryptic statements and questions. A gramophone plays Axon N, the longest running radio play in history. That was what was on the outside of the palace.
Oh.
Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, actress
Like
Nikki
a news
Grace
station.
auditions for the lead role in the film On High and Blue Tomorrows, which is a funny name. Nikki is visited by a Polish woman who
did they
claims
add
to be
beans
her
in?
neighbor. The woman tells Nikki two stories, one of a boy who, looking at his reflection in the mirror, created evil, and another about a girl who, wandering through an alleyway behind a marketplace, discovers a palace. The woman predicts that Nikki will get the role and asks her if her character is married if the plot involves a murder. Nikki denies both, but her neighbors disagrees. The next day, Nikki celebrates having won the role as her husband Piotrek watches her. Nikki meets the film's lead actor Devin Burke, and the two begin a relationship. Though Devin is warned by his entourage that Nikki is out of bounds due to her husband's power and influence. Later during rehearsal, the crew is interrupted by disturbance. Devin investigates but finds nothing. Shaken by the event, director Kingsley Stewart confesses that they're shooting a remake. Okay, that's all the stuff of the remake of the Polish thing.
What's the name of the Polish movie though?
Nikki finds a door
Seven.
marked Axon N in an
Did you
alley
say that?
behind the set. Upon entering, she finds herself at the rehearsal weeks before, and she causes the noise that Devin
I already said
investigated.
that.
Devin looks through the
4-7.
windows but sees only darkness.
Sometimes when you talk, I just tune you out.
Oh, God. This is where it gets
We're
crazy.
like an hour in of this 3-hour movie.
In the
and
house,
this is
Nikki
the
finds
simple
Piotrek in
part.
bed and
This is
hides
gonna be
from
so
him in a
much
closet where she
Wikipedia.
In the house, Nikki finds Piotrek in bed, her husband, and hides from him in a closet where she encounters a troop of prostitutes who advise her to burn a hole through silk with a cigarette and look through the hole. Nikki complies and sees one of the film's characters, Doris Side, tell a policeman that she had been hypnotized by a man known as the Phantom to murder someone with.
That was my bad.
That movie's fucking awesome.
It is great.
Handmaid's really
You can
good
cut
too.
that out if you
He's just
want.
a really excellent filmmaker.
He is.
And sometimes he edits his movie. It can be kind of overwhelming at first and kind of
Does
hard to
he
process
edit it?
everything.
You don't know
but
if he edits it.
I don't know.
Well, he has
his
an editing
editor,
style.
Yeah.
Like
But
even
assuming
Old
that
Boy
he doesn't-
starts like that.
I loved the credits in this movie. The opening credits, so cool.
I agree. I love a good opening credits sequence.
Whatever.
Are we going scores?
Yeah, you guys go first.
Yeah, I'll give it
It's
a
my
7
movie.
out of 10.
8.
I was between a 4 and a 5. 4.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
So much hatred for a
sorry.
movie about love.
I'm sorry. Palm Springs is a better rom-com.
No! No, it is not.
I would disagree with that.
Not in the slightest.
I even like
Palm Springs, I forgot about 30 seconds after it
Well,
ended.
I disagree with that.
Palm Springs sucks.
I'm in the middle.
Gave it a-
It doesn't suck, it's just so generic and
Wrong.
forgettable.
I disagree there.
Alright, this isn't Palm Springs cast.
Well, I just want to say, Palm Springs
Okay.
is most overrated.
4,
of 2020.
4, 7, 8.
Okay, you can't call Palm Springs when you haven't seen every movie in 2020.
Yeah, but that's the only movie I heard non-stop hype about. How
Yeah,
good
Mr.
Palm
Okay,
Springs
Mr.
is.
King of Staten Island.
Well, I
biggest
want to
fan.
watch King of Staten Island.
I don't care about David. P.
Oh my god.
P.
if
Davidson.
you want to know my overrated movie, it's Invisible Man.
I gotta watch Invisible
Invisible
Man.
Man isn't overrated. I feel like everyone's like, this was good. This was
No.
okay.
Yeah, I never heard anyone like being like, "Wow, this is the best movie."
I heard that.
Painted Bird, most overrated movie.
I haven't seen it.
That's the
And I've
worst.
heard nothing about that.
Genuinely
movie. That movie
one of the
forgot.
worst movies I've
It
ever
also
seen.
didn't come out this year.
Did it?
No, it's 2019 release.
Really?
Wide, if
It
it
got
wi-
widely
like I
released
said,
this
if it
year.
wide releases
I
during
go by what
2020.
Letterboxd says.
Okay, well you're a sheep.
You're the cyborg.
Sorry.
You're the sheep. You're a sheeple.
If it's not by what Letterboxd says, The Assistant is the best movie I've seen this year.
I don't care about
Why are we doing that?
Ozark girl.
Yeah, she's a fantastic actress.
She's a great actor.
I started The
She's
Assistant.
so
I
good.
really wanted to finish it, but I didn't get it
Oh
to.
my god.
I know, I really wanted to finish it, but I got
far
busy
did
with
you
something.
get?
I think I got an hour in, but what I saw I loved.
Why did you finish it? There's like
It's an
20
hour,
minutes
20
left.
Nick, it's an hour and 25 minutes.
There's like
No.
there's like 10 minutes left, and I'm done. I don't want to finish this.
I think someone called me and I got distracted. I just never went back to it.
How long was the phone
It's an
call?
hour and 25 minutes.
Well, I'm not
You were
gonna...
literally past the climax of the movie.
Yeah, and also when I got off the call, it was like 1 in the morning.
Oh my god.
Okay, what's next?
Trust me, I'll finish
I
it.
don't think I can talk about movies with you guys anymore.
Yeah, we're done. This is our last episode.
Anyway, I forgot I picked this one. Inland Empire, directed by David Lynch.
What's this one about?
Would you like?
Yeah, I want to see
How about we
this.
just read from
What is
Wikipedia?
this?
Don't you just read?
No, I wanna see
I'll
Carter
explain
do
it.
this.
got
I want you to explain it, and then I'll
Yeah.
read from
Okay.
Wikipedia
Okay, I
as
like
a
this,
joke.
yeah.
See how close you are.
Inland
to it.
Empire is about an actress who. She's an actress, and she is in a new role with a popular co-star
What's
who's
his
kind of
name?
known
Oh my
to
God,
be
this is a
a
lot.
bad boy, and so they're like, "Uh-oh, you better not have sex with him," even though they're both married. And then,
Oh my god. Hang on, I got
and
it.
then
I'll speed run it.
they get to the set, and it is revealed that
It's cursed.
the movie is a remake of a Polish movie called 47, which is called 47, which is like the two leads were murdered on set, so it was never finished, and this is a remake of that. And then there's a
They're sort
person-
of returning to the film.
yeah,
If you picking up what I'm
Yeah.
putting down.
and then she
It's the return.
she walks through the she
you give
enters
up?
the palace.
Do you give up yet?
She enters the palace, and then that's when things go awry, and she goes back in time, and then
Does she?
there's
Yeah,
like
does she go back in
Polish
time?
stuff and a lot of stuff about prostitution.
Gotta like.
And she meets all the abused women, and the movie descends into chaos when she enters the palace. Very similar to how when Naomi Watts finds the key in, or is it the other girl?
Arguably, it's when she looks through the hole and she burned in her underwear. It's when things start to go crazy.
In this movie?
Yes.
No, it's when she enters the palace, I thought.
Fair enough.
Because that's when she
I suppose.
travels
Okay,
back
would
in
you like me
time.
to speed run this Wikipedia
Back in time.
Do we
plot
need the
synopsis?
Wikipedia?
Yes.
Okay.
In a hotel room, a young prostitute identified in the credits as the Lost Girl cries following an unpleasant encounter with her client while watching a television show about a family of surrealistic and anthropomorphic rabbits who speak in cryptic statements and questions. A gramophone plays Axon N, the longest running radio play in history. That was what was on the outside of the palace.
Oh.
Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, actress
Like
Nikki
I knew
Grace
something.
auditions for the lead role in the film On High and Blue Tomorrows, which is a funny name. Nikki is visited by a Polish woman who
did they
claims
got
to be
beans
her
in-
neighbor. The woman tells Nikki two stories, one of a boy who, looking at his reflection in the mirror, created evil, and another about a girl who, wandering through an alleyway behind a marketplace, discovers a palace. The woman predicts that Nikki will get the role and asks her if her character is married if the plot involves a murder. Nikki denies both, but her neighbors disagrees. The next day, Nikki celebrates having won the role as her husband Piotrek watches her. Nikki meets the film's lead actor Devin Burke, and the two begin a relationship. Though Devin is warned by his entourage that Nikki is out of bounds due to her husband's power and influence. Later during rehearsal, the crew is interrupted by disturbance. Devin investigates but finds nothing. Shaken by the event, director Kingsley Stewart confesses that they're shooting a remake. Okay, that's all the stuff of the remake of the Polish thing.
What's the name of the Polish movie though?
Nikki finds a door
47.
marked Axon N in an
Did you
alley
say that?
behind the set. Upon entering, she finds herself at the rehearsal weeks before,
Sorry,
and she causes the noise that Devin
I already said
investigated.
that.
Devin looks through the
47.
windows but sees only darkness.
Sometimes when you talk, I just tune you out.
Oh God. This is where it gets
We're
crazy.
like an hour in of this 3-hour movie.
In the
and
house,
this is
Nikki
the
finds
simple
Piotrek in
part.
bed and
This is
hides
gonna be
from
so
him in a
much
closet where she
Wikipedia.
In the house, Nikki finds Piotrek in bed, her husband, and hides from him in a closet where she encounters a troop of prostitutes who advise her to burn a hole through silk with a cigarette and look through the hole. Nikki complies and sees one of the film's characters, Doris Side, tell a policeman that she had been hypnotized by a man known as the Phantom to murder someone with a screwdriver, but finds the screwdriver embedded in her own side. A mysterious organization claims to have captives from Inland Empire. In 1930s Lodz, prostitutes are beaten by pimps while murder permeates the city. Nikki, having become one of the group of present-day prostitutes, wanders the street while her companions ask, "Who is she?" Nikki asks several men if they had met her. Meanwhile, Nikki's character Sue meets a policeman at the nightclub and tells him how she was abused in her childhood, which led to her prostitution, and how she is being pursued by a red-lipped man. Sue arms herself with a screwdriver in response. She also mentions her husband Smithy, a circus bear tamer with connections to both the pimps and the organization. Sue walks down Hollywood Boulevard and sees Nikki, but is attacked by Doris, who is hypnotized by the Phantom to kill her. Doris stabs Sue with her own screwdriver, and Sue falls at the bus stop, where two homeless women talk about how a prostitute named Nico, a beautiful woman whose blonde wig makes her look like a movie star, thus allowing her to walk through the rich district without drawing attention. One of the women holds a lighter in front of Sue face until she dies. Kingsley yells "cut," and the camera pans back to show this has merely been a film scene.
Oh wow, we're already that far.
Kingsley informed Nikki that her scenes for the film are complete, and in a daze, Nikki wanders off set into a nearby cinema where she sees not only On High and Blue Tomorrows, but events that are occurring. She wanders in the projection room, but finds an apartment building marked Axon Ed. Nikki confronts the red-lipped man, now known to be the Phantom, and shoots him. The Phantom transforms into a deformed version of Nikki and then into a bloodied figure. Before dying, Nikki flees into room 47, which houses the rabbits on television, though she fails to see them. She then meets the Lost Girl and they kiss. Nikki and the rabbits disappear in white light, and the Lost Girl escapes from the hotel into Smithy's house, where she happily embraces her husband and son. Nikki, back at home, smiles viciously at the Polish woman and finds a one-legged woman, Tracy Ashton, that Sue had mentioned, Nico, the prostitute, and a monkey. The end credits roll over a group of women dancing to Nina Simone's Sinner Man while a lumberjack saws to a log to the beat. Makes sense?
That's almost... I said pretty much the same thing.
So, when asked about Inland Empire, this is what Lynch said about it.
All right.
He said,
Just
he refrained...
podcast.
I said I would mention this.
Okay.
Yeah, this is something I want to hear, actually.
Lynch refrained from explaining the film, responding that it is
He
about...
does that with every movie.
It is about a woman in trouble, and it's a mystery, and that's all I want to say about it.
Okay.
And he refers to that quote he often does about, "We are like the dreamer who dreams and then lives in the dream." This is true for the entire universe, which he's uses in Twin Peaks. He uses it in a lot of
Sounds
stuff.
like a cop-out Lynch.
What did you guys think of Inland Empire?
I thought it was great. I was really entertained by this movie. I think there's a lot to chew on here, and I definitely like to
Got that
watch it
right.
again.
So
John?
I've watched this twice. First time I came out of it kind of bewildered. I'd watched it alone. It's been ruminating with me for months now. This time when I watched it, it kind of cemented to me that I kind of love this, and I'm actually really glad it exists.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly refreshing to see something as experimental as this, regardless of whether you understand 90% of it or not.
There's stuff in
And I
here
think there
you-
totally is stuff to chew
Yeah.
on. I just think that in a way that I am not as well equipped as possible.
Oh, God.
Like obviously there's
No.
like his Lynch like dream logic. There's stuff going on with like abuse spanning throughout time and
Yeah.
especially in Hollywood.
Yeah,
and
the thing
stuff
I
like
connected
that.
to most was like Hollywood abuse and
Yeah,
how these people
it's-
get away with it.
Yeah, that's totally what like one review I've read in the past on Letterboxd referred to this as a misogyny collage from hell, which I think is a kind of cool.
That's a
That's cool.
that's a
It's a cool
good
line on it.
phrase of it.
Because this is
like a
it's
feminist
a,
film.
this is a it's basically a collage, the way it's edited and everything, and yeah, regardless of like, you can sit here and pick apart how like a lot of this is kind of feels like nonsense, and it's kind of just Lynch throwing everything he's got at the wall and
Yeah.
seeing. It's almost feels like it's a lot of different of his stories thrown together in a sort of montage of like dream sequences. But I'm really fucking glad it exists, and I'm really glad that he got the money to do what he wanted to do in what may well be his last film. And we can dig into it more, but I kind of love this.
I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bummer. But
Well-
I, again, 100% understand.
Wasn't a big fan, and all of the themes of misogyny in Hollywood and abuse, and even just like a reflection on cinema and a reflection on film and Hollywood itself, I think are done much, much better in Mulholland Drive.
Agree.
in a much more
Mulholland
succinct
Drive
and
is-
enjoyable way.
Mulholland
The thing
Drive is-
about this movie was I did not find it enjoyable.
I
There
did.
were moments
That's
I
where
thought were
disagree.
enjoyable,
I thought it was extremely
but mostly I thought it was a headache. And
I think this.
there's very long scenes which I think really drag and really go nowhere.
I would say this movie doesn't
Which I
drag
think-
for me.
Neither.
I think could have been cut, honestly. And it's a 3-hour long movie. And I don't like calling movies indulgent, but like there were definitely moments in this where I thought like you're really just wasting time. And
That's how I felt through the entirety of Turn Horse.
Okay. Well, that's
Well, the
different.
time wasting there was purposeful, but we'll not get into
in
that.
this movie. I just felt like Lynch has explored all of these themes more in a more
100
in-depth and
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you.
enjoyable and
Mulholland,
purposeful way. than
Mulholland
this
Drive is
movie.
totally like a perfected version of this kind of.
Yeah, which is weird because he made this 3 years after that.
Yeah, and a lot of this seems like
And it's like every Lynch movie, he shoots like 5 hours of footage and then cuts it down. So I really do think he could have cut this down into a much more powerful.
I agree. I totally.
Direct
I'm not by in
experience.
any means calling this like a perfect thing, but I'm just totally here for it, and I'm like appreciate that like something this kind of experimental and out there can exist, and can like make money and people enjoy it
Yeah.
and watch it. And I think it's funny. I think it's genuinely unsettling at a lot of points. I actually really love how it's shot. I love how it's edited. I think Laura Dern's performance is kind of incredible in this.
Yeah, she's really
I
good.
thought it was really good. None of the other performances
it.
really stood out to me. I don't know. The only visuals which stood out to me were like some of the scarier ones, like at the end, obviously the famous Laura Dern visual, and then the face and like the bunny visuals. And I really liked that stuff, and I wanted more stuff out of that. But then there were just long stretches where I was just very bored and kind of annoyed. And
No, I totally
really
get
thought the movie does feel like it's kind of fucking around at moments, and
Yeah,
that kind of detracted from like the messages of abuse and misogyny in Hollywood. It really didn't work as well for me because I had to sit through moments which really did feel amateurish. Which
Yeah, I don't.
I
agree
disagree
at
with
all.
that. I think he knew. I think he knew what he's doing here. Like I think that, as indulgent as it may seem, I just
you
love.
think so?
I love the like kind of. He threw his fucking brain at the wall, and
I
not
guess
everything
so.
stuck. But like I was kind of there for the ride, and like
But
I
also,
definitely
like,
upon a second viewing, I like picked up on more, and I kind of like trying to piece together this puzzle.
the stuff with like, you know, like it's just his thoughts thrown against the wall, and like it's like not really a narrative movie. I think like, and it's all dreamlike logic. I think that works a lot better in like Eraserhead by him.
Well,
No, I get that.
I think so.
Yeah,
like
obviously,
in terms of his non-narrative movies, I think this is much weaker than Eraserhead, and Eraserhead's a way more
I
enjoyable
agree.
experience.
Eraserhead's a more narrative movie too.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's a
but
narrative plot you can
There
follow.
is a
through
I don't
narrative
know. I
Eraserhead.
guess what makes like the Lynchian moments special in his other movies is that it is kind of a narrative. And I thought when you lose that, it just becomes kind of a grating experience. At least
I
that's
will
how
say-
I
felt.
totally understand.
I
that.
would say usually I'm the one that's always like, I need narrative to hang on. But with this one, it just seemed like Lynch was like throwing everything. I was like, whatever, I'm in for it. And surprisingly, I was never bored throughout this entire movie.
See, I don't mind if if you don't have a narrative, but like I mean, obviously, like Holy Mountain would be the best
Yes.
example of that.
Like,
But
there's some specific
the
movies
thing
I will
about
say
the
that
Holy Mountain is that I was nonstop entertained and enjoying that.
And
in this movie,
That's how I
I
felt
just
for
thought
this.
there were long stretches.
I wouldn't
where
say I was
bored
nonstop
and
entertained, but like
bored.
even like watching this a second time, I still felt kind of I genuinely enjoyed watching it. And I
Yeah.
think there's some really hilarious moments. I think there's some really kind of deeply unsettling and disturbing moments. I genuinely liked like kind of trying to piece together the different timelines and plot threads going on.
Yeah, there's a lot to piece together in
It's
this movie.
it's a lot.
I
It's
do think I'll get
difficult.
more out of it if I watch it again.
Yeah,
But
I
the thing
definitely
is,
wanna
I
watch this
just
again. I'm very
don't really
excited
have
to.
that big of a desire to watch it again, which is unlike pretty much any other Lynchian puzzle. Like,
Yeah,
I love the shit out of Mulholland Drive.
because I think there's less of an answer here. I don't think there's really like.
It's not even that. I mean,
Well, if you
it's
ask
more
Lynch-
just like I really didn't find this to be that enjoyable of an experience. And yeah, I mean, enjoyability isn't everything for a movie, but if your movie's 3 hours long, and I think there's long, dull stretches where I'm not going to get much out of it, I struggle. I think there's some great Lynch moments in this, and I just think there's some great scenes, but overall, I just thought it to be kind of annoying and kind of a trickier watch for me. But I still appreciate it.
I actually do really like a lot of the thematic stuff dealing with like
Yeah.
dealing with like identity of women in Hollywood and just in general, and like the idea of like history repeating itself and things carrying over throughout time, like histories of abuse and stuff. And I don't know. I remember reading something about this of like people theorizing that like this is all like Hollywood's dream, and then this is kind of like highlighting the kind of strangeness of Hollywood and like what it creates. I don't know.
I feel
There's
like he already did the perfect version of that.
I
already
totally
made
agree.
the perfect-
I think there are differences between this and
Yeah.
This is
Mulholland
a
Drive.
much darker look at it.
I think Mulholland Drive deals a lot more with like subconscious stuff than
But
this.
I also think the part of what makes Mulholland Drive so
no one here is arguing that Mulholland Drive isn't
I
better.
No,
I haven't seen it.
No,
I
I
can't say
think
anything.
I think it is better, but I think what made this unenjoyable and what made me not really like it is that I think the descent into madness is handled in a much better way in Mulholland Drive.
Well,
And I think they do so much to establish like this is the false reality of Hollywood for the first like hour and a half of that movie, that when it does descend into dark madness, it's really effective.
No, I'm totally
and
with
in
you.
this movie, it kind of felt like there was never that. So when it's just nonstop Hollywood is evil for 3 hours, it can just become kind of
Yeah,
a headache.
I get that.
I don't know. I didn't. Feel
I think it's deeper than Hollywood is evil.
Yeah.
No, it is, but I don't know. It's just
I feel kind of ill-equipped to talk about the themes here because it's a lot, and it's just minds greater than mine are the people who needed to be dissecting this.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah. I mean, I
Because
need to watch it.
the
more
way I see
times
it, no
to,
one-
like fully talk about. I'm just talking about how I feel. Is that
This it's just coming out of
I
this is
wasn't
like
a huge fan.
it's one of those movies where it's like I can't wait to read more about this. I can't wait to read what other people have to say about this. I want to watch video analysis on it.
I want to watch
try
it
and
again.
understand it.
I'm so
yeah, I
excited to
honestly
watch
would
this
watch it
again.
again.
I don't know.
'Cause
Maybe.
I
The
enjoy
3
it.
hour
I would honestly rather watch
The 3 hour
other Lynch
runtime
movies.
didn't
over
even
this
bother
again.
me. That's what surprised me. I thought the 3 hour
It
runtime
bothered
would definitely
me a lot.
bother me.
I
but
felt the runtime.
for me, I
honestly.
just didn't feel it.
Is this his last movie?
He
If you don't
claims
count
If you
Twin
count-
Peaks: The Return,
Yeah, if you don't count short films. and stuff
His
like that.
masterpiece.
I gotta finish it. It's so fucking good.
It's incredible. It's the greatest artistic achievement of the 21st century in my eyes. Thus far, we have a lot of time left.
We still have time for Freddy Got Fingered too.
He makes it.
I can't.
David
can we
Lynch.
do a can we do a Twin Peaks podcast?
Can we do it?
I would. Nick's gotta get his ass on that.
I want to watch it again.
I want to watch
So
it
good.
with my girlfriend.
God damn it! I'm not even
I
gonna.
might skip over a few season 2
I'm not.
episodes.
No, I just want to watch season 3 again.
Oh.
But you're gonna. I'm not even gonna be able to get it back before I leave.
No.
Cocksucker.
Sorry. It's so much better watching it on Blu-ray than on Brazilian Netflix. So
It looks
nice.
great. It's such a good
Yeah,
looking.
it's beautiful.
It's on Hulu, isn't it?
No, it's on Showtime.
There's a Showtime add-on on Hulu.
Oh, you're talking about The Return.
Yeah.
Oh.
The original's on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I usually don't.
I've increasingly grown into a
Yeah.
Lynch fanboy over the year as I've watched all his stuff, and I don't know. I just kind of I'm really glad something like this exists, and I kind of love it. for what it is, flaws and all,
Yeah.
because it's got a lot of them. But you know what? It's more interesting than 95% of what comes out nowadays.
Very true. I'll say this, that I believe the reason Eraserhead might be my favorite Lynch
No, this guy in
movie.
Eraser.
I don't know,
I'm just
because I feel like every time I see something Lynch, I just feel like something won't connect to me as much as Eraserhead did. Because I feel so like personally invested in like those themes and everything about anxiety.
That's my most relatable Lynch for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's my favorite. Because every time I watch that movie, I feel like I've been there.
It's,
Like, I've had a cattle fetus baby before.
yeah, just wait till you actually have to start getting
Yeah.
married and settling down. That's when it becomes scary.
Yeah, I know. That's when the cattle fetus comes out.
Yeah,
But,
no,
Yeah, I think Mulholland Drive's my favorite just because I think that's where Lynch perfected his craft and his themes, and it feels the most Lynch because of that.
I gotta rewatch it, but I
have to watch
I
it.
think that The Return is kind of his masterwork, but
Yeah, I'm probably leaning there.
because it's like it's
Once I
just
finish
such a
it.
fucking epic, and it just covers so many themes, and like it just really transcends the medium
Yeah.
and deals with like meta narratives of like
It's a
aging
good goodbye
actors.
to like television.
Yeah,
Like, television doesn't really
because
exist
the way
anymore. Yeah.
not to get into a Twin Peaks The Return thing, but the way Twin Peaks the original run kind of that's revolutionized television, like created this sort of season long format, not like serial
Yeah.
episodes, like things not wrapping up after a season or even an episode, and it was kind of obviously it was a play on like the soap opera, which was the big thing at the time. In a lot of the ways, The Return is kind of a play on the sort of prestige television of today. It's a spin on that, and I think it's
It's a deconstruction
once again
of what he created.
it totally is the same way. That's why I think Fire Walk with Me is kind of the key to all of that, and I think Fire Walk
I have
with
to
Me is-
rewatch
Mixed-
Firewalk.
Fire
mixed
Walk with Me
feelings
is
on Fire Walk with
whatever.
Me.
You can think that, but I think Fire Walk
For
with Me
some
is a
reason, I
masterpiece.
thought like I stayed up for 24 hours. I could watch Firewalk with me right now.
Fire Walk
And then I
with
passed
Me
out.
Let's watch
It's
it
a-
right now.
I don't.
It's a masterpiece.
I don't
it's a
wanna
masterpiece.
Watch, I don't want to watch
Mess.
Firewalk with.
It's a hard movie to watch.
I
so
gotta-
It's a.
I want to watch
I
all
have
Twin
a
Peaks
lot
again.
of problems with Fire Walk with Me. I still really like it, but I do have a lot.
God,
of
I wish we
problems
could. I wish you would finish season
Season
3.
three, so
I
we
just
could talk
really
about
want
it.
to talk about it. I like finished it and like sat there for like days. Like, I literally
Wow.
like. I can talk to my mom
John,
about
you
it.
haven't
but
gotten up in days.
I can't.
with. John's not moving.
Truly one of like
Thinking.
the. Honestly, like out of endings of anything, like maybe the ending of something that's stuck in my mind more than anything ever.
I'm so excited.
It's truly like.
I'm very excited to get into Twin Peaks again.
So good.
It's a wild and wacky
You gotta read
world.
Laura
I know.
Palmer's diary.
I've never read Laura Palmer's diary.
That kind of seems intrusive to me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Reading her diary.
So that's
Yeah,
kind
we-
of creepy.
if
Part.
It's
we
like
can do it
reading
to
Anne
Anne
Frank.
We can.
Incoming
That's
Anne
why-
Frank joke. All right.
Who has to
Yeah,
make
Inland Empire is what we actually watched.
Oh yeah, scores
Me first.
Yeah.
8 out of 10.
9. Voice
5
crack right
out
there.
of 10.
I
What was
understand
your
it.
score?
9.
Okay. 5 out of 10.
Minute 8.
Probably my least favorite Lynch movie I've seen. But I haven't seen Dune, which everyone shits on.
I'm so excited for that Denis Villeneuve.
Me too.
If it ever comes out.
Hodorowski was supposed to make a Dune.
Oh my god,
and
yeah.
I think they're gonna. Blow
I never
it.
watched that documentary.
Because they're trying to like fit it into one movie, aren't they? When the book
Yeah.
is like incredibly long and like.
Well,
I
that's the
think
thing.
they're-
Hodorowski had like all these insane ideas,
Yeah.
and
That's what I'm
the
saying, I don't
studio
think-
was like, "We cannot possibly fund
I don't
this."
think this. I'm kind of.
Hodorowski.
I want to read. I actually think I'm gonna read Dune before. It
I want to
comes
read
out.
it, yeah.
I think after making Blade Runner 2049,
Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve or whatever.
Villeneuve?
Yeah,
I don't know what it
I actually
is.
like him.
I think he needs to tone it back. I
He's
think he needs to go back to like a prisoner style movie.
he's one of my
instead
favorite directors
He
right
keeps
now.
scaling up, and I think he needs to.
I wouldn't say he's one of my
Okay,
favorite
but-
directors. I think he's
What
like.
he did with Blade Runner
Arrival and
2049
Blade Runner
is
2049 are
incredible.
great, and so's Prisoners.
Blade Runner 2049 is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I don't think he's one of my favorites, but he's just a really solid filmmaker.
Like,
He's-
talk about building on the original so well.
Yeah, I guess. I actually think thematically the first one's a lot better. But the first one I have a lot more problems with when it comes to like.
I would say thematically,
rape.
I like the second one better.
Yeah.
Of what it means to be human.
Yeah,
guess.
I'd probably agree. I gotta rewatch Blade Runner.
I don't know. I think
love
the
it.
first one.
2049's
It's
incredible.
one of the most beautifully shot.
Oh my
movies I've
god,
ever
yeah.
seen.
It's gorgeous.
Roger Deakins.
Welcome to Blade Runner podcast.
Yeah, anyways,
Finally got his comeuppance
This is our
back.
Inland
Harrison
Empire
Ford
review.
rapist moment.
Anywho,
Sure.
Solid
Never
episode.
told me the odds.
Never told me.
you guys want to do favorites?
Yes.
Inland Empire.
I guess I'm a cyborg, but that's okay.
Oh, the
It's
worst
my favorite.
movie.
I guess that's my favorite.
What's next on the
Oh
agenda?
yeah, what is next?
Not a great episode for me, at least.
Wow, don't say that in the middle of the episode.
I'm not saying about.
Alright.
When I say that, I mean the
Who wants to watch Eraserhead?
the episodes.
I would love to watch Race.
No, I want.
I wanna watch
to
Mulholland
play
Drive.
Duck Game.
Oh, with this guy.
August. You want to play Duck Game?
What the? We're still recording.
Okay. Anyway,
Wait,
we
amateur.
watched it already.
I'm stopping here.
Yeah.
Goodbye.